McCall of Texas. Without objection. The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we go back home to our districts to honor the veterans on Memorial Day, today I rise to honor a true American hero, Corporal Jeffrey Johnson, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marine Division. Born January 27th, 1989 in Charleston, South Carolina. Jeffrey joined the Marines in July 2007. He was killed on May the 11th, 2010 in the Helmand Province in Afghanistan, where we have seen some of the fiercest fighting in the war as the surge moves forward to victory. He was 3 weeks into his second deployment when he was killed by an IED while on patrol. Corporal Johnson is a graduate of Waller High School and is now being touted as a son of Tomball, Texas. Jeffrey loved Ford trucks, and he loved the outdoors, especially hunting and fishing. Corporal Johnson joined the military to provide education and other options. He wanted to attend the University of Texas and become either a game warden or a state trooper. Katie Anguish, his wife, wanted people to know that Jeffrey was a creative person who loved to have fun. I spoke to the family the day Jeffrey was brought home to his final homecoming to offer my condolences on behalf of a grateful nation and to give them flags flown over the United States Capitol in his honor. To his family, his wife Katie Anguish, his father and stepmother Jerry and Kelly Johnson, his mother Dawn Hardwick, sisters Ashton Bennett and Cassidy Johnson, his brother Jason Martin, his grandparents Dolores Campbell, Glenda Schneider, John Farmer, and Jerry Tyner. It's hard to put in words how you must feel, but know that the United States Congress and the American people are so grateful for your son's service. Unfortunately, I've attended too many military funerals, as many members of Congress have, but I've never seen such an overwhelming of support and love in the welcoming home of this fallen hero. He arrived by airplane from Afghanistan in Tomball, Texas. He was greeted by the Marines who carried his casket to the hearse. And it reminded me of the greatness of this country. It was so inspiring to me that at a time of great tragedy and sorrow, that over 30,000 people in a small town showed up to pay their respects, to show their appreciation for a man who made the ultimate sacrifice for his country, to signal to the rest of the nation that patriotism and love of country are still alive and well in America, and it restored my faith in America. The Tomball Fire Department hung a large U.S. flag from 2 extended ladder trucks as Captain Johnson's body traveled by motorcade to the funeral home. Thousands of friends, veterans, school children, ordinary citizens showed their support and lined the streets waving American flags. This is what it's all about. As a member of Congress, the hardest thing we have to do is to comfort families when they have lost a loved one in a time of war. My heart goes out to the family. But Jeffrey did not die in vain. He was part of something greater than himself. He was on a mission for freedom and liberty, on a mission to liberate the world from the scourge of terrorism. My father, a World War II veteran, was part of what we now call the greatest generation. Jeffrey is now part of a new great generation of heroes. His life embodies what we see in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, than a man lay down his life for his friends. Jeffrey, you are home now with God. Well done, good and faithful servant. May God bless you, and may he hold you in the palm of his hand. I'd like to close with a quote from Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, which I read to the family the day of the homecoming. And his words are as timeless today and relevant as they were so many years ago, when he said, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us the living to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth." God bless you, Jeffrey. And with that, I yield back.